Hello guys, and again we are back. Last time we had a look at Walatiki Temple, and today we're looking at Halls of the BloodSworn. So, Halls of the BloodSworn is basically a control point for map. You have to capture the points and then you fight over the middle. So what you really need to be doing is split into 3 groups. You should have a group on the right, on the left, and one in the middle. You should have 2 smaller groups on each side and a larger group in the middle. Now, as you can see here, what's happening is I am all by myself, which is no good, because I need to try and capture this point. And the way it works is if you've got 1 point captured and you're fighting in the middle, you get a certain amount of points. Your bar will increase and then you can unlock the next area. But if you control both, then it doubles the speed. So having both is obviously preferable, and the quicker you get to the end, the less time the enemies have to attempt to beat you, really. It's like the quickest one to the end. So really the best thing to do is, as I say, 1 on each side, get in there, and then have a scrap in the middle, as long as you're controlling the points. So again, right now, there's one person here. I'm trying to heal him, keep him alive, because we need to try and capture this point. It's not really going to work. And the good thing about this area is you can actually jump over the middle, which you'll see me do quite a few times. I realise that I'm going to die, there's not really much point doing it, so I just say screw it, I'm leaving, jump over. As long as I died, but never mind. As long as you've got an ability, for example, the warrior can use his leap, I can use my blink or whatever it's called. Spell slingers have the same thing, they use their stun. You know, every class generally has a way to get over. So that one's been captured, which is brilliant, and they were all fighting in the middle, so plenty of points there. We managed to go over, we're in the 3rd section now. And again, it's the same thing, you just want to be capturing both points and then fighting in the middle. They can capture the points back, so you don't all want, after you've captured it, you don't want to just leave. You want to have a couple of people at each point to stay there. You don't necessarily have to kill the enemy that's trying to capture it, you just have to make sure you're interrupting them and make sure that you're staying alive and healing up and all that good stuff. So the idea of it is to just take control. You are controlling the points, and here we managed to capture that one, and then see, straight down into the middle, have a scrap. So when you're an attacker like I am now, it's fairly straightforward. Go in, kill what you can, capture the points, and it's GG from there. Things get a bit more complicated when you're defending, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, just fighting. It does seem to be very strange in this game mode. You either have loads of people with you or none at all. The map is quite large for quite a small amount of people. I think there's there's maybe 10 on each side, so it's a 20-man map, but it looks like it should be about 40. It really is huge. They didn't skimp out on that. So I mean, right here it looks like it's about 3 or 4 of us against maybe 10 of them. Like, it could be all 10 of them. Right now they're thinking, oh, you know, they probably don't know how to play the map properly, and they're not going and capturing the points. We do have both of them. Actually, no, right now we had a minute there where neither of them were captured. So for some reason we just didn't have them. I couldn't tell you why. So I probably should have been going to get them, but this is like one of the first few times I've actually tried to properly play this map instead of just massacring everyone, and didn't do too great. So the idea is capture both the control points and then fight in the middle to try and gain control of the overall point. So you can move on to the next zone, and once that zone's completed, you move on to the next zone. And once you've got the 3rd zone, you then switch sides, and you have to, it's basically a race to see who can get all 3 zones the quickest. So right now we're defending, and this is where it gets a bit more complicated. You've got to think about it a little bit more. As you can see, 2 or 3 of us go this way, and that's fantastic. That's probably perfect. I'm a healer, one of them's a bit of a DPS. None of them's really tanky, but that's fine. You don't really get hugely tanky people, you just get people that are survivable. So, in PvP at least. So, yeah, there's tons of them here. There's like maybe 3 or 4 of us. And we're managing to keep them off, and we're not doing particularly well, but we don't have to, we just have to stay alive, which is what we're managing to do. And yeah, now what you'll see is, you may see it blink up from time to time over the other side, is the other side isn't doing very well. There's lots and lots of enemies, and you can see it there, perfect. Not many of us at all. So they've captured that point, and now they're all fighting in the middle. I'm staying here because I don't want someone to sneak up. I'm pretty sure someone does attempt it in just a second. They'll try and sneak up, and they've got control of this point, nice and easy. It's not going to last particularly long. See, if I'd left, that guy would have just come up and grabbed that one as well, and then it would have been over even quicker. And you know, that it might only be 20 seconds, but that's 20 seconds that you may win the match with. It's not much, but it could be just what gets you the win. And someone comes over to join me, not really much point, but it's all good. So I'm healing people up as I can. People are jumping around, and you know, they're running away from the main fight in the middle, so I'm giving them some heals so they can get straight back in. We went to the next zone, they captured it, they got the points. We're going over, and again, you want to be splitting up equally, because what you'll see here is, I start in the big fight, everyone seems to group on one side for some reason. So everyone on my team is grouping on this side. There's a fair large amount of them, that's fine. And then I jump over to help this guy because he was struggling with 2 or 3 of them over here. So again, the good thing about this is if you're keeping an eye on the other team, on the other side of the map, you can just jump over. So we cleared them off, I jump back over this side. You know, as a healer and as someone that is a support class, you can make a lot of a difference by jumping back and forth between the two. I do tend to not look at the center too much. I tend to be a bit more focused on the control points. I'm not 100% sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it seems to work out. This guy ended up going down. Now, right, I'm here for a good kind of like 2 minutes maybe. Obviously not sped up, it's about 2 minutes. And what happens is no one helps me. There's 3 of them here trying to capture this point. Not a single one of them. They've got the point now, because I can click it, so they've got the point, which means they're gaining more points, and not a single person comes over to help. The only person that came over to help there at the last second was the guy that died originally, and it's just not helpful. And so now they've got the second point, which is, again, it's getting pretty close to us actually failing this, and that's all because at that second zone, we didn't have anyone else on the second point. If there were people on the second point, we probably would have been able to go a lot longer. So we do end up winning. We did hold it out longer than them. But the point is, you need to be split equally. You need to be focusing on what's going on around you, not just focusing on who to be killing in front of you. It's the same with WildStar Temple. You need to be focused on the objectives. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that helped.